Yo, give y'all a minute to come back if you guys so choose. Hold on, y'all. Don't know if that helped. Got to comb your beard out, you know what I mean? Salute, salute, salute. Good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, Freedom March and Freedom Family, Freedom Lovers and Freedom Fighters. I am continuing this discussion I was having from my earlier, the live stream I just ended. Well, my phone ended it because my battery died, but you know, it is what it is. I got a little hitch in my step, obviously because I do have a bad back and, you know, it is what it is. It's reality. Your mom's your dad, bro. Salute to Cormac Stanley's. Thank you for that. Make sure y'all hit the like button. If you're gonna come in and talk shit, the least you can do is drop the like. Hit the like button. Double tap the screen, y'all. Double tap the screen. I'm out here rucking and discussing. You know what I'm saying? Got my sciatica acting up. You know, it is what it is. But we were talking about Donald Trump's war in Venezuela. His war that he is waging against Maduro for what I believe to be the resources of Venezuela. And this is something that Maduro understands. He was talking about how they have the largest oil preserve in the world, likely, and likely the world's largest gold preserve. And obviously it makes them a target. They have been a target by the United States of America. They have, you know, the United States has been trying to remove Hugo Chavez with no success. They are now trying to remove, you're from Australia, salute to you, Cormac Stanley. Salute to you. I have no problem with people talking shit. No problem with it at all. Unless you say something silly like, shut the fuck up. Then you're letting me know that you don't want to hear what I have to say. So why are you here in the first place? Anyway, all talk, no action says outdoor cast iron cooking. All talking, no action in regards to what? Are you out here rucking with 80 pounds? Are you ensuring that you are fit enough for what may come? I don't know if you're talking about me. Did I go to Russia? No. No, I'd probably likely never go to Russia. No. Salute tortilla chips. Welcome back to those of you who were in my previous live stream where I was really cooking. What muscles does rucking help? All of them. All of them, if you do it right. So rucking is great. Rucking is a great form of cardio that you can get in without, you know, it's low impact as well. You might think it's high impact because you're carrying weight, but because you're not running while you're doing it, you're not harming your joints. If you ruck right, oh Jesus, if you ruck properly, it works every muscle, every single one damn near, except for your arms, right? It's not gonna, but like all your core muscles, your stabilizer muscles, right? If you engage properly, if you are rucking upright as possible, you know, it helps with your posture, right? It helps you get you know, back in the right, get your posture together. Yes, I did serve. The infamous 6. I did serve. Sole shoulders and upper back. Well, like I said, if you engage properly, you can reduce that, right? You just got to engage. You got to walk as upright as possible. You don't want to be hunched over, right? Because when I was in the military, a lot of us were rucking like that, right? To relieve the stress and to relieve the soreness and the pain in the shoulder, right? You lean forward, but this is not good for your back. So what you want to do is you want to walk upright, shoulders back, core engaged, you know, and as you walk, you want to engage your leg muscles to push forward, and your core is being engaged to prevent you from going too far back, from going too far forward. So rucking is great if you do it properly. You know what I'm saying? Insomniac says, done a lot of mushroom hunting and ginseng hunting. Always had sore shoulders after carrying a pack and up and down hollers. Well, you're gonna get some soreness, probably. That's why I said you engage all the muscles you should engage. It'll help distribute the weight better. You know, but at the end of the day, gravity is working against you. It's pulling down on my shoulders, right? So, you know, I'm probably gonna have sore shoulders a little bit. But if I was not engaged properly, it would be a lot worse for my shoulders, or it would be worse for my back, my lower back. Yes, get active. So I was talking about, you know, I was talking about the war on drugs and how the war on drugs is not really the war on drugs. The war on the cartels is not about the war on the cartels. The war on the cartels that Donald Trump declared, and Donald Trump changing the name from the Department of Defense to the Department of War, is about trying to unseat Maduro and take over Venezuela. Someone says proof. Well, the proof is in the actions, right? The proof is in the action our government is taking and not taking. Salute to Mind and Mansa Musa in the building. Freedom is not free. You're absolutely right. Now, swimming is great too. I swim as well. So, the proof is in the actions they're not taking, right? Because, no, Lawrence Airby, freedom is not free. But you can believe what you want. Now, the proof is in the actions they're not taking, because we have cartels that are operating in the United States. We have cartels that are operating just south of the border that we are not, you know, deploying the military to go up against. We have 8 battleships and a nuclear submarine in the Caribbean, in international waters, and we're using them to shoot down tiny little boats they say have drugs in them and killing people. And they are providing zero proof that these boats have drugs on them. And even if they had drugs on them, they have no proof that they are not, or that those boats were coming to the United States. Where is say that, says Stalin in our hearts? Well, Donald Trump says that. The Department of War says that. Maduro says that. What are you talking about? Why are the boats running? It's none of our business why the boats are running. The boats were not running in United States waters. The boats are not running. It's none of our business what boats are doing in the Caribbean. And we are using Puerto Rico, right? And United States protectorate. We're using Puerto Rico as sort of a launch pad to perform these engagements, right? That's what we're doing. These are facts. Look it up. The videos can be from years ago. I have no idea, right? But all I know is they're saying these boats are carrying drugs and they're blowing them up instead of seizing the boats, right? Instead of seizing the boats and arresting the drug runners, they're just outright killing them. They're outright destroying their property. If they did that in the United States to United States citizens, we would have a fit. We would have a fit. But because they're not doing it to the United States citizens, we're okay with it, right? It's okay if they blow up some boats, kill some people in the name of the war on drugs. They don't have to provide any proof, and no one says anything about it. Someone says I'm full of shit. All right. Help me remove the shit. Come on, take the shit out. Come on, guys, do better than that. If you're gonna call me liars, if you're gonna say I'm full of shit, then you guys present the reality to the people. Use my platform. Yeah, Grim Paintball says I'm full of it. All right, remove the it. Take the it out and tell the people what it is. Tell the people what the shit is that I'm full of. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm full of shit and I don't know what the shit is. Help me. Help me figure out what the shit is. Because yes, Donald Trump is full of shit. And I'm telling you how. He's telling you that he's engaged his Department of War. His Department of War is engaged in a war against the cartels. But he has provided no proof that the people he's attacking have anything to do with drug cartels. He's calling Maduro a drug cartel leader. Yet, he hasn't proven that Maduro is a drug cartel leader. So, who's full of shit? He's saying that he's engaged in a war on the cartels. Yet, he has yet to prove, he has yet to do anything to any cartel. He has not eliminated a cartel leader. He has not taken out drug cartels right here in the United States. He hasn't done that in the south of the border right there in Mexico. So tell me where I'm full of shit. See how that works? Someone says lies. Douglas Taylor says lies. Tell me what the truth is. I'm giving y'all an opportunity. And somebody said womp womp. Okay, who said womp womp? Yeah, cowboy. If you're saying womp womp, that means that you have no interest in what I'm saying and you don't want to hear what I have to say. So I don't know why you're in here. I'm gonna help you out. You go, bye-bye. Salutations. Arrivederci. Get the fuck out of here. All right? Trump is not following the law? Why would we expect someone in Trump's position to follow the law? People like Trump and the benefactors of Trump, the benefactors of, government officials, the people that really get the representatives to represent them. Y'all think your representatives represent you, when in reality, they represent the special interest groups. They represent the corporations and the banks. Those people don't give a hot damn about laws. The laws are about you. The laws are put in place for you guys to follow, not for Trump. Trump don't give a hot damn about no law. What? Let me help you understand something. Donald Trump is essentially the top cop of the United States. He is the leader of the United States military. So, who is going to stop Trump from breaking the laws? Who's going to arrest Trump from breaking the laws? Who controls the Department of Justice? Someone says I'm weird. Okay. Your mama thought the same thing when I blew her back out. She said it was weird how she came so many times. It never happened before. Anyway, you should head out into the deep jungle to see if you can find your ancestors. You know, I would love to do that one day. Pixel square like. Why not? And you know what you should do? You should head deep into the mountains of Caucasus to find your ancestors. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and go into the mountains of Caucasus. Go deep, deep down in there. Go spelunking to find your ancestors. Yeah. That's what you should do. He, tough guy. Salute to Minds of Mansa Musa. You're proud of Trump? Absolutely, sure. You're sure you're proud of Trump. Sure. So, think about that. Donald Trump don't have to go by no laws. What y'all thought this was? The Attorney General, Pam Bondi, well, she is the top cop below Trump, but she works for Trump. Who is going to place Trump under arrest? They have to impeach this guy and get him out of office. They have to impeach him, get him out of office just to have him prosecuted for the crimes, for the high crimes and misdemeanors. They have to impeach him and have him removed just so he can be prosecuted. Ain't nobody, Trump can break any law he wants. The court said that, right? That Donald Trump can, or that presidents can do this and do that. Yeah, during their time in office, if they can say they were doing it if they were committing these crimes in the commission of their office, in their duties, to perform their duties, they can indeed commit crimes. Yeah. And you know what? Before my last live stream ended, I was talking about constitutional amendments. I was talking about how, the system that we live under today, when it was created by the forefathers, they did not create the system so that the bankers and the special interest groups and all these different entities, right, that really control the government can control the government. That's not why they created it. But throughout the history of the Constitution, when you look at it, and I've done some research on it that I want to present to you guys one day, if you look through the history of constitutional amendments of this country, of the Constitution, and how certain articles, how certain clauses of the Constitution were inserted, and you look at the precedents set by the court system, because the court system, their job is to interpret the Constitution and the laws of the land, right? That's their job. That's the judicial branch's job. Well, in order to put certain things in place, they had court proceedings. If you look at the entities involved in these court proceedings where these precedents were set, you will see that a lot of the times banks were involved in these court proceedings. Banks. So more and more, they were able to implement things within the Constitution and create laws to help the banks become more and more in control of the monetary system until they get to the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. That's the big one. That's when that's when they really sank their teeth in, really sank their claws in, the banks. So, someone tells me I'm uninformed and naive. Sure, because I'm so naive that I choose not to believe the government when they sell me a bunch of bullshit. Sure, yeah, I'm that naive. I'm naive because I don't trust government. Why not? Hold on, y'all. Sure, I'm naive. Why not? Did I read 107 Days? No, I did not. My intelligence is artificial? Sure, buddy. Bear says I want to be a victim. What? This live stream isn't even about me. How am I making myself a victim? By calling out Trump and his Department of War for trying to intimidate Maduro, get him to resign, or prepare for an invasion. What's that got to do with me? How does that make me a victim? Let's not be stupid. Y'all just like to use these talking points because you have that they put there for you. You saw a freaking clown. Just saying. Teresa Adams says, okay. Name us the Constitution by number, says Canella Maria Stefanis. What does that mean? Name the Constitution by number? Is the answer supposed to prove something to you? The answer to that silly question? Name the Constitution by number? No, they do hate facts. Salute to Ray Dean Van Reenen. Salute to the beautiful queen. Yes, he says, Bear, show the face on that profile. How long do I walk for? Well, so far, 3.64 miles. I'm rucking. I got about 80 pounds going on right now. 65 pounds of weight in the backpack. The backpack itself, all the other equipment I have on, my boots, my clothes, comes out to about 80 pounds. Come here, you little piece of caramel snack. Walk with me, says Hopscotch Squirrel. Okay. Salute to you, Hopscotch Squirrel. Hopefully you're a lady. NC Tyrant Hunter says, oh, googly eyes. Okay, salute to you, NC Tyrant Hunter. I like the name. Maduro is very dangerous. So? So? Maduro is dangerous. To whom? When Maduro is dangerous to whom? Did Maduro send a bunch of Venezuelan gangs over here to take advantage of Biden's opening of the border? Sure. Well, who wouldn't? Why not stick it to the government that's trying to stick it to him? Yes, Maduro is dangerous. So what? You know what? Why shouldn't you be dangerous? Shouldn't you be dangerous as well? Don't you want people to be dangerous? Because, good morning. If you're not dangerous, then guess what that makes you more easily? Guess what you become more easily if you're not dangerous? Can anybody tell me? Good morning, how you doing?
Hi.
Good morning. If you're not dangerous, what are you more likely to become? The more dangerous you are, the less like you are to become a what? NC Troll Hunter. NC Tyrant Hunter has a check mark, y'all. It appears that he is a YouTuber. Y'all should go check him out. Even though I don't know him, the name alone of his channel gives me some glimmer of hope that he's talking about something. Toast to town, salute to you. Candy, yes, I do have green eyes. What kind of logic is that? What kind of logic is what, Steve Wayne? Steve Wayne, you always coming in here challenging me, but you never actually really challenge me. You just say shit. Well, what logic are you referring to, brother? Spooky Story Guy says, love you, brother. Keep speaking the cold, hard truth. I love y'all too, man. And that's why I do this. So tell me, if you are not dangerous, then what are you more likely to become to dangerous people? A victim, right? Y'all hate victims. Oh, you a victim. Look at you. You always being a victim. Well, the best way to not become a victim is to become dangerous. Because when that criminal plans to make you a victim, well, guess what? He fucked with the wrong one because you're dangerous. So Maduro, the leader of a sovereign nation, regardless of what you want to believe about him, regardless of what you want to believe about his predecessor, Hugo Chavez, regardless of what you guys believe about Maduro, about Hugo Chavez, guess what? The fact that they were dangerous is the reason they were not overthrown by the forces of the United States. The more dangerous they are, the less likely they are to fall to the United States government and the United States military. Yes, they're dangerous. You're not going to get an argument from me about that. So yes, Venezuela needs to stop what, Bear? Kiram Hassan says, go underground and take the resistance before it is too late. Well, it's hard. I see what you're saying, but the problem is with a lot of these movements that go underground, they become larger targets of the United States government intelligence apparatus. Because if you go underground, then you're essentially saying that you have something to hide. That makes you a greater target, right? No, that has been tried before, right? And some things and some movements don't need to be openly known. Yes, but you have to have a good mixture, right? You got to have the right people out there spreading the message, exposing the truth. Because the first act of war, the first act of any war, what is the first act of any war? Oh, someone says drink water. Good idea. I got my electrolytes in here. A very good name says, brother, are you talking with anyone in particular? I'm speaking to everyone. I'm speaking to everybody. Yes, propaganda, says that guy. The first act of any war is propaganda. Because if you hide what you're trying to do, if you don't make yourself as transparent as possible, the more they can demonize you. But if you're transparent, well, they can lie about you, can they? They can try, but everything that you are pushing, you're pushing out in the open. You're not hiding it. You're letting it be known. And you reach more people that way. And the government, or whoever your enemy is, it's harder for them. They were able to do to certain, freedom fighters. So they'll push lies, or they'll use truths and attach lies to them to make them look bad. No, you have to be open and upfront. with certain aspects of your movement, right? Someone says, I need to be on the FBI watch list. I probably already am on the FBI watch list. So what? So what? So what if I'm on the FBI watch list? I don't care. I have nothing to hide. Now, they can play dirty games and they can create something to hide. They can plant things in your computer server. They can put things in there to make you look bad. All these different, they've done it in the past. These people, they have the means and methods to paint you as something that you're not. I'm here in my vehicle. They have the capability and the technology. They have artificial intelligence. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. The artificial intelligence that we are aware of today, it pales into comparison to what they have available to them that they can use against you at any point. Yes, I'm aware of these things. They can make you look real bad. They can make you look like a womanizer, right? They can put things in your computer. They can put CP in your computer. They can put it in your search history and make you look like something you're not. They have those capabilities, but you have to be willing and able to come to an understanding like, look, they can paint me to be whatever they want to look like, right? And I'm aware of this, but all I'm doing is trying to help people understand that there is a way out of this. And it doesn't have to be through government, right? Someone says, hello again, Freedom. Is this a confession, says Game Bread? No, it's not a confession. I'm giving you an example of what the government can do. They can do anything they want. It's called COINTELPRO. For example, those individuals that they say tried to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer, but they only arrested 2 people because the rest of the people that were involved were actually government agents. Yeah, they created them. They turned them into domestic terrorists. They have these capabilities. See, this is the back brace I got, y'all. It's good to have a good back brace if you're gonna go rucking with a lot of weight, right? Because you don't want all that weight just crushing down on your spine. And this thing right here, like you pull these tabs and it cinches up and it creates separation. Is it a confession? Man, y'all are funny. I'm telling you what these people are capable of. But no, you don't have to. Your movement can be, the more you have to hide or the more you try to hide, the more they can pin on you, the more they can make you look like a villain, right? Because you're shrouded in so much secrecy. They can make up whatever they want about you. Me, I'm making it very clear about what I want. You know what I'm saying? I'm making it very clear. So that's just what it is. Ariella says you're merely speaking your mind, and that is part of being an American. Facts, right? Freedom of speech, right? Freedom of speech. That's what they want you to say. That's what they want you to believe you have, right? You have freedom of speech. But they will try to use your speech against you to make you look like something you're not. ICE is a bunch of kidnappers. Well, yeah, I'm sure they've kidnapped people, the entire government. Hell, police departments in general they kidnap people. But see, this is how the government is designed. The beautiful Ray Dean Van Vrienen says he has nationalized the oil in Venezuela. Oh, who you talking about? You talking about Maduro? People do need to use their two-way. Facts. My general stance is freedom. My stance is the stance of freedom. Freedom from government control. Point blank, period. freedom from authoritarianism, right? Freedom from manipulation and deceit to get what they want from you. My position is the position of freedom from being extorted by the government that will use your money to commit atrocities all across the world, or to give money to countries that commit atrocities, right? That is my stance. Where'd I get my rucksack? If you go, I got my rucksack from Go Ruck. It's a great quality rucksack, and they have a lifetime guarantee. So the lifetime guarantee on your rucksack means that if something happens to your rucksack, if it gets torn, it's a great quality. I have not had any issues with my rucksack, y'all. Great quality rucksack from Go Ruck. It's a veteran-owned company. Someone says, come to Russia. You know what? I might want to visit Russia one day, but why should I come to Russia? Am I retired? I'm no longer active. I was in the Army, U.S. Army. U.S. Army, I was 11 Bravo. The entire government is right as incorrect. Has he, salute to Lynn Kendrick Moore. Salute to you thank you for the $2 super chat, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you for the donation. Any donation is greatly appreciated. It's just going to go towards, building my channel and building what I want to do. Radine Van Reenen says, I know your country will be going into recession, so your millionaire need that oil, right? Yes. Well, I'm going to explain that. And I actually was going to tie in how Donald Trump wants Israel to stop bombing and doing things in Gaza. I'm going to connect the dot between that and what's going on in Venezuela. I think it's very crucial to understand what may be happening. This is just something that I'm putting together in my mind, what I think is going to happen. Adam McFarland says, you seem like an anarchist. That's because I am. Someone says blah, 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 meaning they don't want to hear what I have. They don't like me speaking. And I don't understand why they're in here writing in my chat. So I'm going to get them out of here because they seem to be confused. You're confused if you're saying blah, blah, blah in my chat and you're writing in my chat. There seems to be some confusion. So I'm going to help you out. Hold on a second, guys. Here to the Crown says, oh, I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hold on. Get no sweat on my seats. What is an anarchist? Well, the etymology of the word anarchy is no rulers, no authority, right? So, an anarchist is one who believes in not having an authority figure rule over them, right? It's about self-governance. It's about self-control. It's about sovereignty of self, right? It is about independence. It has those beliefs, right? Oh, it's a pipe. I know they tell you all the time. Freedom lovers and people that believe in freedom, first and foremost, and that think that they can have, that they can live without government. Oh, it's a pipe dream. It's a fantasy. It's an illusion. Well, the illusion is believing that the tyrannical government that rules over you right now is a benevolent government, or that we can turn it into a benevolent government if we just get the right people in place. That's the illusion, right? It's the illusion is the belief that through voting, we can reduce the tyranny. Oh, all we got to do is vote. Oh, just go vote. Go to your next election and this, that, and the third. When all we do is vote ourselves in and out of vicious cycles that will never end. because we're doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right? That's what you do when you vote. Oh, well, I voted. Well, my vote didn't get me anywhere. I'll try again next time. So what you do, you sit back and you wait 2 years, you wait 6 years, you wait 4 years to have another opportunity to make a change with your little vote. That's the illusion. That is the illusion they sold us that we believe in. Someone says grow up. Well, help me out. Help me grow up. Grow me up. Tell me how to grow up. I need your help, guys. I'm a child. I'm a liar. I'm full of shit. I'm uneducated. Educate me. Tell me where I'm lying. And tell me what the facts are. Give me an education. Black Spring Autumn is back in the building. Yes, please hit that like button. 380 people in here with 81 likes is diabolical. I'm allowing y'all to come in here and talk all the shit y'all want. And y'all can't even hit the like button. The only way that I get you out of here is if you act like you don't know why you're here or you have a problem with me talking. Y'all can hit the like button. Yes, and get you guys a copy of my book that I wrote, The Seeds of Dark Matter Disease. It's right now on Amazon. It's published on Amazon. I do plan on doing a second edition, right, where I'm going to change the book cover and maybe do a little bit more editing. Add a couple things here and there. But you guys go check that out. Someone says they hasn't figured me out yet. Help me understand how I can help you understand me. It's simple. It's simple. See, when I come onto my channel and I use my pulpit, when I use my platform to tell you guys what's really going on behind the scenes, what I believe is really happening based on the actions of our government, I'm trying to get you guys to understand that our government does not act on our behalf. Our government commits atrocities in our name. They extract wealth from us and they use our wealth to commit those atrocities. They use our wealth to perform wasteful spending, right? And and we pay their salaries. They work for us. The buildings they work in, we built those with our money, right? We pay their salaries. We pay for their health care. But they act like we work for them. They dictate to us what we can and cannot do. We give our consent to be governed as is outlined in the Declaration of Independence, written by Thomas Jefferson, a founding father. Yes, the Declaration of Independence says all men are created equal. And it talks about consent of the governed. Well, if all men are created equal, then why is there an elite class system? An elite class system that gets represented by our so-called representatives. If we're all equal, if all men are created equal, then every man and woman would be equally represented by this beautiful government we have. It's so benevolent. Where would we be without government? Well, if all men are created equal, why isn't every man equally represented by our government? Can anybody answer that? Well, because it's not possible. Not by 535 people in Congress, 100 people in the Senate, well, 101, including the vice president, because the vice president is the 101st senator. You got 101 in the House or in the Senate, and you got 435 or whatever in Congress, right? And they're trying to add more seats. They're trying to create more districts. They're redistricting. They're doing this, that, and the third. You got 536 people that are supposed to represent 350 something million people. You can't possibly represent every individual's needs at all. You can't. It's impossible. Government cannot represent every individual. It cannot. It is an illusion to believe that it can. It cannot. I don't care how many representatives you create. Salute to Convos with Cam in the building. Salute to you, Queen. Salute to my beautiful Queen sister. Make sure you drop your link too. Y'all go check out Convos with Cam, man. She has a great channel in which she gets into mental health, because she is a mental health professional, so she knows what she's talking about. So y'all go check out Queen Sister Cam. Drop your link. Don't forget. I don't care how many representatives you create. I don't care if there's 3,500. I don't care if you got one representative for every 100 people. That one representative cannot represent every single need of every individual, and it's not supposed. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to. Every individual, who is the best representative for each individual, for each adult? Who represents each adult? One individual adult. Say yourself. Y'all go check out Queen Sister Cam's channel, y'all. Y'all go subscribe to her. If you want to learn what exercises you can use to center yourself and to balance out your, balance yourself out and deal with anger and all that stuff, go check out her channel. She really should be. She should be. Her channel grow and she can reach out more, reach out further, and get to the people that need her, because there are people out there that need people like Queen Sister Cameron, not just because she has a degree or she's a mental health professional. No, because she genuinely wants to help people. That's why she created her channel and she does the things she does. Because she really wants to help people. So those are the type of people we should be uplifting and putting our support behind. Anyway, y'all go check out Queen Sister Cameron. Now, who is your best representative? Who can best represent you? Who is my best representative? Who will best represent my interest and my needs? No problem, Cam. And y'all go check out Black Spring with Autumn too, another very intelligent sister, who also should be. She's very very knowledgeable. You know what I'm saying? I won't say educated, because when you use that word, you think, oh, degrees and this and that. No, it's not about the degrees you hold. Even though she has degrees, even though she's a well-learned woman, it's not about the degree she earned. It's about the application of the knowledge, right? Yeah, that's what it's about. But anyway, yeah, your dog. Your dog is your best representative. Yes. Especially if you had that dog since you were a child. That dog knows you in and out. I'd rather have my dog represent me than Nancy Vancy or whatever her name is. Nancy Vancy, Vancy Mace, and Nancy Mace. Let me ask y'all something. Who knows their representative? That's a great question. Do you know who your representative is? On a federal level, what district do you live in, and who's your representative? Do you even know who your senator is? Because there's 2 senators per state. Who is your senator? And who is your representative? Damn, as soon as I didn't click the clicker. Oh, here come my children. Whoa. Oh, okay. Linda Forston says, not good at answering questions. I didn't see your question. I was driving, so I didn't get to see your question. You guys, listen, there are 257 people in here, and I don't know how many chats How many comments are in here? I can't answer every single question whenever y'all want me to. We know there's a warrant for your arrest. Sure, Gene Takovic. Sure. Anyway, who is your? Did anybody know who your representative is? And if you know who your representative is, how many times have you had dinner or lunch with your representative? How many conversations have you had with your representative? How well does your representative know you? That's really what I need to ask. At the end of the day, your best representative is yourself. Salute to Angel. Salute to you. And you know, this is the problem. The problem is that Donald Trump and his Department of War are right. They are launching military operations in the Caribbean in the name of the United States. They are attacking tiny little boats that they say are full. Angel says she talked to her representative a few times. Okay, does that representative that you have spoken to a few times? How many times have you spoken? Do they know you? Do they know what your needs are? Are they working for your best interest? Can they put you first? The solution is to break the chains of government control one step at a time, strategically. No, I'm not Antifa. No, I'm not Antifa. No, I'm not Antifa. Blake says YT isn't for people that shouldn't have be scrolling through YouTube sports sorts and come across political stuff when you're not looking for it. Well, bye. Go on somewhere. Like what? You ain't got to be here. This guy sounds like he wants handouts. When have I ever asked for a handout? I am against fascism, but I'm not Antifa. Don't try to play those games with me. He's cool, but there is corruption. There will always be corruption in government. It can't be avoided because government itself is corrupt. Government is a system of control. One group or the few having so much control or over any number of people is corrupt by force. If you're controlling people through force, manipulation, violence, and threats, then guess what? You are corrupt. Point blank and period. And when they commit atrocious acts in the name of the people, that is corrupt as well. Like what they're doing in the Caribbean right now with Venezuela. Jen says, am I anti-Trump? Yes. Because Trump is a criminal. Trump is committing crimes. Trump is using the government on the behalf of his bankrollers, right? The bankers, the corporations, yeah. Yes. No, I'm not Antifa. Do you know that they have declared Antifa to be a domestic terrorist group? Nah, no, you ain't catching me up in that. I've never been part of Antifa. Operation Paperclip? Yeah, I know about Operation Paperclip. Sure. Angel says, yeah, I have no idea what happened to all the funding we got from Ida. Well, Angel, I tell you what. Your representative got some of that money through other means, through laundering. Do you know our government commits money laundering all the time? When they take your money and they send it to these countries and they subsidize these corporations, these corporate welfare recipients, because these corporations, they use the government and the government's and the people that fund the government, the taxpayers, the corporations use our funds to enrich themselves. So they are corporate welfare recipients. They get the government handouts. They talk about we want government handouts. The people, well, we fund the government. So the government is getting people handouts. Yes. And anything the government gives to anybody comes from the people. So there are no such thing as government handouts, because government does not have anything to give you. The government does not produce anything. The government the government extracts from you to distribute to other places and to use as they see fit. The government does not have money. The government uses your money and prints money out of nowhere that your children and children's children are going to have to make up for in the future. And this is a reason they are doing what they're doing in Venezuela, right? This is why they want operations to stop, in my opinion, in Gaza with Israel. They want Israel to stop bombing and doing whatever they're doing in Gaza, because they came up with this peace deal, and Donald Trump is telling Israel, you need to stop. Well, they need to focus their attention and on what they really feel is more beneficial down the road, which is Venezuela. Well, if they're focusing all their military equipment and money and all that to engage in Israel's mission to conquer the entire Middle East, y'all need to stop. We need, y'all need to come up, agree to this peace deal, so that we can focus on what we got to do in Venezuela. We got to focus our attention on that. That's what I believe is going on. They want to increase operations in Venezuela. Well, they need to they need to stop funding Israel to the degree they're funding them. So they're telling them to stop bombing. Stop wasting. Stop using our military ordnance to continue your genocide and to try to conquer Gaza. Like, it's at this point, you guys are just doing too much. So we need to refocus resources on Venezuela. Yes. You remember they tried to unseat Maduro in the first place? You all remember when that happened? When did that happen, y'all? Can anybody tell me? When they were trying to replace Maduro with their own puppet president? Y'all remember when that started? That started during the Obama administration. Do I know what genocide is? No, I don't. No. Anyway, the people of Venezuela need help, period. Yes, they need to help themselves. They need to help themselves to resist U.S. government meddling. Yes, they need to help themselves. Someone says, voice your opinion already and let instead of asking. Don't tell me how to engage into how to. No, I'm getting you out of here. No, you don't tell me how to speak. I already gave my opinion. I told you. They want to stop putting resources in military equipment and all that in what Israel's doing, and they want to refocus that on Venezuela so they can get that cracking. Not saying that they're done helping Israel. No, that's not what I'm saying. They're saying, look, you need to slow down. We got some shit we need to do over here in Venezuela. Bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, that's what I believe is going on. That's why I think that Donald Trump is saying stop bombing, right? Angel asked if I'm former military. Yes, I am. Mastro asked, is this a gay live? Well, seeing as how you're gay and no one's talking about gay stuff in here, then no, it's not a gay live. Here comes the closeted homoerotic individuals that want me to be gay so that I don't know, whatever fantasy they have. They want me to be gay because they find me attractive, so they come in here and launch these accusations. It's all good. I understand. Oh, you left a comment before. What did you say, Angel? I didn't see it. Ray Dean Van Reenen says, wasn't there a meeting between the Chinese and Venezuela's recently? Yes. They always have meetings. Yes. Mastro apparently stumbled across the wrong channel. Mastro for Perez. Because he's gay and he finds me attractive. So he has to make it about his homosexuality. Just so you guys know, this is what these people do. Dan said that she said I'm Antifa. Oh, you said I'm Antifa, Angel? I don't know where you get that from. I don't know where these labels have to come from. You're also interested in labels. Do I think the Chinese will help them? To a degree, yeah. But see, China is thinking about the long game, right? They're not trying to, they're not really necessarily funding proxy wars and whatnot. They will give some level of support, but they won't go in with these. They won't waste their resources and equipment on proxy wars like the United States and other countries will. What they'll do is they'll let everybody fight it out. They'll sit back and they'll say, oh, we want these things to stop. We don't want you guys fighting and we don't want all this violence. Because that's what China said about Ukraine and Russia. But China is a Russian ally. But China never threw in with Russia with the level, not to that degree. Not like North Korea did by sending them soldiers and equipment. No, China is saving everything, all their resources and all their military equipment and their ordinances. They're going to keep that. They're holding on to that because they're going to let all these countries fight it out. They're going to sit back. They're going to watch all these things go down. And when the dust settles and the smoke is clearing, that's when China is really going to come through. China is waiting, y'all. KLA says, sir, you're oh, okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, KLA. Angel, it's okay. I didn't see the comment. Caden actually says it's not actually a lot of trolls. There is 6 with 3 or 4 handles running the same IP. It's an illusion of their echo chamber. Yeah. No problem, Ray Dean. It's about resources, right? They don't give a damn about stopping drugs from getting into the country. No, they like drugs coming into the country. They keep this drug prohibition in place because it benefits them more than it benefits us. Drug prohibitions do not benefit the people at all. It makes it worse for the people. It makes drug addiction worse. It makes the drugs worse. It makes the drugs more dangerous because these drug dealers and these suppliers and these plugs, they don't care about purity. They just want to sell. So they'll sell you some impure shit to make their shit spread. To make their shit stretch, right? To get as much profit as possible. They don't give a shit about drugs. Yeah, they might care that some white kids are dying from fentanyl overdoses, but they're just using that. They're co-opting that problem to create a fear-based reaction that only they can provide a solution for. It's called the Hegelian dialectic. It is what it is. Yes, oil and minerals, says Sahara Kahir. Yes, drug dealers are stretching it because they have to deal with the prohibition. If the prohibition was not in place, there would not be these such drug dealers. They wouldn't exist. Where do you see alcohol dealers? You might see people boosting alcohol from a store and they're selling it on the street for half the price. But these they're just stealing the alcohol from stores. Have you seen a dangerous liquor booster? No, they're just selling you alcohol. They go to a barbershop. Man, I got some Grey Goose. I got some, you know what I'm saying? I got some Belvy. I got this. I got that. Man, I'll give it to you for $10, $20, $30. Get you some cheap ass alcohol. They're not dangerous. They're just selling people alcohol because alcohol consumption is not illegal. You know what I'm saying? And it's easier for someone to buy from an alcohol booster because they're like, well, I'll just buy the alcohol from him for hella cheap. But if I get pulled over, as long as I'm not drinking and driving, I got sealed liquor in the back. They're not going to ask me where I got the liquor from. They're going to, because it's illegal. They're just going to make sure I wasn't drinking the alcohol. No, yeah, stealing is illegal, but not possessing alcohol. You get what I'm saying? Like, the dangers in alcohol is in the level of consumption and what you do when you consume the alcohol, right? When you drink and drive, that's dangerous. When you drink too much liquor and you get liquor poisoning, that's dangerous. How you behave when you're inebriated on liquor is dangerous. Yes, those things are dangerous, but that's where the dangers are limited to, right? Yes, alcohol is terrible for your body, absolutely, but you still have a right to consume alcohol. If you want to put your own body at risk by drinking alcohol or using drugs, that is your choice. That's your choice. You're doing it to yourself. Yeah, nobody cares about bootleggers. Right. Well, there really aren't any bootleggers anymore. I mean, there are people that they make moonshine in their own little stills in their backyard, but there's no need for a bootlegger anymore because alcohol is legal. Dan says, I'm confused. I'm confused over the facts. Why should people listen to you? What facts am I confused about? Tell me what facts I'm confused about, Dan. Let's see if Dan tells me what facts I'm confused about, y'all. Why am I dressed like Fidel Castro? Okay. I don't know. This is what I decided to wear. Y'all questions are weird. Y'all got some weird questions. There's no such thing as Palestine. Sure there isn't. There's no such thing as Israel. How about that? There's no such thing as Israel. If there's no such thing as Palestine, then there's no such thing as Israel. There's no such thing as the United States. There's no such thing as England. There's no such thing as the UK. There's no such thing as Africa. There's no such thing as goddamn Venezuela. There's no such thing as goddamn anywhere else. Sure. Then you have to apply that to anything else that you name a land. You just named a land. You claimed it for yourself and you gave it a name. That doesn't mean that it's real. So yeah, let's apply that to everything. Why not? Yes, Hitler, sure, he acknowledged a lot of shit that other people acknowledged that people that hate Hitler have some of the same beliefs Hitler did. He just had certain extreme beliefs that they could not get behind. Anyway, Noir Vibe says, I've been 10 minutes here talking about the country. You condemn a military operations, but you love to sound of your own voice more than facts. Where's that guy that's going to tell me where I'm confused at? What was that dude's name? I'm still waiting on him to tell me how I'm confused. Where's that person at? I know you're not calling my chat an echo chamber. I don't know where you're getting that from. What am I doing to improve the world? Well, I am informing people that there are other options that they can choose for themselves other than government rule. That's what I'm doing. I'm reaching people. I'm helping people come to an understanding that there are more things that you have to live for than what the government tells you need to live for. That's what I'm doing. I'm helping spread the message of freedom. You don't have to be ruled by a government. You know, people in societies and communities can exist without government rule, without one individual asserting authority over the other. There is a way to live. And every time I bring these stories to help you understand how flawed and corrupt the system is, The same system that you rely on that extracts your wealth, that is supposed to work for you. I'm demonstrating your government is not working for you. It's not of the people, by the people, and for the people. It has been hijacked from the people by corrupt organizations. So I'm bringing you to that understanding. And Donald Trump is acting on behalf of corrupt organizations and not on the behalf of you. Point blank and period. So this is what I'm helping do. And the more reach I get, the more people I reach, the more I will do, the more I'll be capable of doing. Right? It's a grassroots effort. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But the more I speak out, the more people I reach. That's the whole point. The more people can come to this understanding. Yes, I have plans and I have ideas that I want to do to improve this channel so that you guys can get more out of it. So I'm trying to reach as many people as possible so that I can start to transition towards doing other things. And of course, I also have a job and I also have to work as well. And I have a family and children and all that other stuff. So all these things take time. Angel asks how we are supposed to overthrow our government. Well, first, you don't talk about overthrowing the government. It's not about overthrowing the government. It's about extracting yourself from government rulership. That's what it's about. It's not about overthrowing the government. That's not what we want to talk about, right? We want to talk about how do we become self-sufficient to the point we don't need government, or we have the less government involvement as possible. You start with that, and then you work your way from there, right? It's about decentralizing. Decentralize, not necessarily overthrow, right? When you say things like overthrow, it kicks off the algorithm and they put you in these lists. No, you don't want to put yourself in the list, Angel. Don't put yourself in the list. What you want to do, you want to become self-sufficient, right? You want to get land and resources. You want to be able to remove yourself from the grid. You want to have a certain level of survivability so that if the government shuts some shit down or some shit goes down, you will be okay. That's what it starts with. Self-sufficiency. Well, she said so, be a farmer. Well, it's more like be a homesteader, be self-sufficient. Yes. You make it sound so simple, but we have farmers in the United States right now that are suffering, right? Well, the reason that those farmers are suffering is because they do a lot of monocropping. When you do monocropping, you're reducing and eliminating biodiversity. That's why they're suffering, because they're monocropping. It's a lot there's a lot involved with that. When you homestead and you do regenerative farming, it's not about monocropping. It's about biodiversity. It's about biodiversity. It's about using the land to regenerate itself by using its diversity, right? When you do all this farming and monocropping, these farmers are having these issues. They do a lot of monocropping. They do a lot of large production. They use chemicals. They use a lot of pesticides. They use a lot. They cut down all these trees and they create all these acreage of land where they're displacing and destroying a lot of animals. They're destroying the ecosystem. Well, once you do all that, you can only grow one type of crop. You're eliminating biodiversity, and that's the problem, right? They don't have sustainable farms. If they can't get specific types of fertilizer and seeds for their crops, then yes, they're going to suffer, because they have conditioned their land and their soil to only accept certain types of seeds and accept certain types of plants. Well, If they can't get those products from here and there from overseas, then yes, they're going to fucking suffer because they're getting their shit from overseas and they're putting tariffs on that shit. But you don't hear biodiverse or regenerative farmers complaining about that because they don't get their shit from overseas. They get it from the local. They use the native and indigenous system to grow what they need to grow, to raise their animals. It's regenerative. They don't need to get imported seeds. They don't need to get imported fertilizer. That only this fertilizer will work for this seed, and this seed you can't grow this seed in this way. Yeah, they fucked themselves over. Yes, agriculture. I won't say agriculture ruined this. Mass agriculture, right? Angel says she's indigenous. Salute to you, Queen. That's what's up. You're indigenous to the United States or the land they call the United States. Salute to you. Why should we stop? Why should we? He stop saying biodiversity. Someone said I should stop saying that. What are you talking about? Someone said I should stop saying that. It is what it. Anyway, it's not about overthrowing the government. It's about decentralizing and breaking it down further as far as possible to the point where you have smaller micro communities that operate independently of each other, as self-sustainable as possible. And if they do need to get resources from outside of their land, well, they can barter and trade with other communities, or they can go to unoccupied land and find what they need, right? Or they can branch out, whatever they want to do. That's really what it's about. But a lot of people think that's not possible without government, but it is. It is. It's very possible. Yeah, so it's not about overthrowing government. It's about decentralizing. It's about strategically, right? You break it down. You shut down certain government agencies and you work on giving states their powers back. Once you give states their powers back, you can start to transition downward from there. Strategically. You can't, it's just not gonna happen overnight. It takes strategy, it takes a coming together of the minds of the people. It takes people taking their power back. It's about people removing their consent, right? Because you consent to be governed. So you remove your consent, you start to break it down, you release all the federal lands that they have taken, because the United States is over 90% unoccupied land. It simply is. So they want to convince you that we are overpopulated and all this bullshit. No, they concentrate us in certain areas, and then they federalize land and they statalize land, right? You got state land and you got federal land. Yeah, you release all that. You open everything back up, and people can spread out. And they can go to this land, they can go to that land, and they occupy it, and they use the resources they have available to them. And if they need more resources, well, you can trade and barter with other communities that have that resource. And if they don't want to, oh well, move on. Move on. It is what it is. And if your community fails, it fucking fails. It is what it is. That's part of life. Systems fail. When they fail, well, you learn from those mistakes and you rebuild. As simple as that. See, freedom and my desire for freedom, right? My desire for freedom is not predicated on 100% success. It's not predicated on that. My desire for freedom is predicated on the simple fact that I have freedom. And if I operate fully and completely on my own accord with the level of freedom I would have, and I happen to fail, it is what it is. I then I fail. Guess what? If I try to start a community free of government and it fails, it fucking fails. It is what it is. But guess what? You pick up the pieces and you move the fuck on. That's how it's supposed to work. But then you might have communities that are headed or that are consist of individuals who never thought about freedom the way I did, but they said, you know what, let's try it out. They might be more successful than me. So what? They're more successful. I can learn from them. They can learn from me. And guess what? See, not having government does not mean that you can't cooperate and have communication and agreements with other people. You don't need a middleman for that. No. A government is just a middleman. It's a middle agency that is really corrupt and fuck. So that's what this is about. Freedom is about having the freedom to do as you choose. It's not about success. No, it's about the freedom to determine how you arrive at your success. You're not guaranteed anything with or without government. The government can't guarantee you success. Neither can freedom. That's not what that's about. The what it's about is without government rule, how your success rests more on you. And who is going to be more inclined to want your success than you? Not the government. So when your success is completely up to you and you don't have the roadblocks of government and the constraints of government, your success rests on you and you alone. And anybody that will get in the way with that, in the way of your success, if they're hostile towards you, guess what? You can deal with it as you choose. Whereas the government places constraints on you. They put all these rules, they make up these rules that you have to follow. And your success is determined by what they allow you to succeed at. Someone says I'm crazy. Sure, I'm crazy. Angel says she went back to school. That's what's up. The government is supposed to protect you. No, it's not. Where are y'all getting this from? The government is not supposed to protect you. It doesn't matter if it does say a government for the people, by the people. It's not supposed to. You're supposed to protect yourself. Relying on other people to protect you is ridiculous. People that don't even know you. Now, they might try to protect you, right? But should you rely on them to protect you? No, you should not. Like the military or the police. You might see a police officer patrolling through your neighborhood and you might feel good. Yes, he's here to protect me. No, he's there to do a job, which is to patrol the neighborhood and to make sure no one's committing crimes. It's not about you specifically. That cop is not rolling around and patrolling for your safety. No. It's patrolling to respond to a distress call of a crime in progress. By the time they arrive at where that crime is being committed, 9 times out of 10, the crime has already been committed. The victim has already been victimized. Ray Dean says people have lost their survival instincts. Then those that don't have those survival instincts won't survive. It is what it is. My freedom, my desire for freedom is not predicated on who will and will not survive. That's not what that's about. See, I'm upfront about what I really understand. I'm not going to sell you a dream that freedom means that everybody gets to live in harmony and utopia and kumbaya and everything will be so great. No. I'm letting you know that freedom is dangerous. It is survival of the fittest. Freedom does not mean that you're going to survive. That's not what that means. That means that no one is going to, there is no government control to tell you how you're supposed to survive and in what way you're supposed to survive. Because government control does not guarantee your survival either. It creates the illusion that it guarantees your survival, but it really does not. But with freedom, you know that your survival rests in your hands alone. So whether it be you and your family, you are the protector of your family. You're responsible for your safety and your family's safety. Or if you guys build a community, every able-bodied individual within that community is responsible for the safety and survival of that community. You have that understanding. With government, they give you the illusion that they are responsible for your safety. So guess what they want to do? They want to they push gun control. They don't want you to wear bulletproof vests. They want to outlaw all these things that you can use to ensure your own survival, because they want you to believe that when they do that, they're going to protect you and they're going to help you survive. That's not reality at all. Angel says, my TV, we're talking about America. Puerto Rico is a protectorate. Yes, it is. Puerto Rico is a territory, but it's not considered a state of the United States. But see, that's where this bullshit comes in. It's just they control Puerto Rico, just not directly. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Anyway, but I gotta go, y'all. I gotta finish my day up. But thank you guys for coming through. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for the engagement. Thank you for coming with me on my ruck if you were there. And I appreciate you guys. Hopefully, we can arrive at a place where we have a little bit more independence and a little bit more freedom. That's really the point. It's not about overthrowing the government. It's about helping people realize they don't need government and that we need a path to opt out of government if we so choose. So that's what this is all about. Yes, God bless everybody. That's what's up. Love you guys. Hopefully we can continue these discussions, and we will continue to grow, and we will continue to bring this information, and we'll continue to use our voice to push the message of freedom and independence and all that good stuff. Salute to you, Angel and Ray Dean and Tehran. Salute to my moderators. I'll at y'all later. And yeah, let's keep marching forward toward freedom and peace, people. Y'all stay up, stay safe. Keep your tools on you and carry plenty of freedom seeds. Like, share, subscribe, and we're going to keep